Good day, everybody. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. This is Morsels of a Thought number 1819. We are on Christmas Day looking at the rules. Today, we are going to review a few of the rules for marriage, time tested secrets for making your marriage work. And we're going to go through rules oops, 4, 12, and 28. 4, 12, 28. 4 is keep up your own interests. Have a life. I am going to put my birdie up here because this is my Christmas tree. It is a small tree, but I have small ornaments on it, and they are so cute. Anyway, have a life. Keep of your own interests. Rule number 4 in The Rules for Marriage by Fein and Sherrie Schneider. They are the mavens that changed the dating world for us forever. Now, my show is about morsels of a thought of what I hope is wisdom so that we can learn the right things to do because knowing the right things to do, as the fortune cookie said, is wisdom. Doing it is called virtue. Ooh, well, we'll bring more virtue into the world. Some women, say the authors, make their husbands their whole life when they get married and drop many of the things that made them interesting in the first place. Some lose interest in their careers or stop working altogether. Some see less of their family and friends, and others cut back on interests and activities, including exercise. This is a mistake that we would like to help you to avoid. We have encountered many women who became half a person in their marriage and came to regret it later. Right after Amy married Phil, she quit her job as a real estate agent to concentrate on getting pregnant, learning how to cook, and decorating their house. She also dropped some of her single friends. For years, she had met 5 girlfriends every Wednesday night for dinner and a movie, girls' night out, but decided to skip it so she could eat dinner and watch TV with her husband instead. Phil didn't discourage it. In fact, he seemed flattered that she preferred his company and was happy when Amy told him she couldn't relate to her single friends anymore. But after a few months, Phil started to tire of so much togetherness. When he came home, he wanted to read a book alone instead of watch TV with Amy. He started making plans with the guys once a week to shoot hoops or go out for drinks. Amy was hurt and angry. She had dropped her friends to spend every evening with Phil, and now he was bored with her. Realizing the mistake she made, she went back to girls' night out and took a part-time job. Amy learned a painful but important lesson. Many men will be flattered or even encourage their wives to drop friends or activities for them, only to lose interest in them when they do. Despite what they say, men like women the most when they're busy. They love coming home to women who lead exciting lives, who are busy exercising or writing a novel on their computer, who will tell them an interesting story about some friends or a coworker, or who have to dash because they don't want to miss their yoga class. They like it when you've got other things going on besides them and have to fight a little for your attention. This is a key sentence in this book. They want to be able to fight a little for your attention. The husbands do. For the wives, have you ever noticed that your husband wants to talk to you? The authors say all this. They are married women. One of them has even had a marriage twice. So she knows more than a lot of people, even though, yeah, you still know a lot when you're married. I'm divorced. So, anyway, have you ever noticed that your husband wants to talk to you the most when you're on the phone or in the middle of something, as opposed to when you're eager to talk or just sitting around doing nothing or waiting for him to come home? If you listen to what a man thinks he wants and make him your whole life, he will get bored and pull back, and you will feel hurt and regret it. Quote, Husbands get bored when women only concentrate on them, says Nancy, who made that very mistake in her first year of marriage. She got busy in the second year by getting a job and taking ballet twice a week. The more stuff I do, the more interested he is in me. I feel better about myself and my personality is more interesting, so he's more attracted to me, and now when we're together, he really appreciates me, she said. You have to have a life apart from your husband. End quote. Andrea, a former book editor and now a stay-at-home mom who has been happily married for 5 years, concurs. Quote, I have activities and friends apart from my husband. I have been on a tennis team for 4 years and we practice and play twice a week all year round. I also belong to a monthly book club. I have taken classes at a local college and I have participated in different church functions. I think married women must have outlets away from their home or else there's too much strain on the husband-wife relationship. And I must say, it is nice to see how much my husband misses me when I spend a Sunday afternoon playing tennis. Sometimes he even comes to watch me play without my asking him to. He says he doesn't want to be away from me too long, end quote. Of course, another reason to have a life when you are married is that you will be less likely to break the rules. Women who are bored and restless are most likely to call their husbands a lot at work, nag, complain, find fault with them, or try to change them because they have too much time on their hands or are not happy with themselves. When you are involved in something, be it an interesting career, meeting friends for dinner and a movie, exercising, taking night courses, or doing charity work, you are busy, focused on yourself, and less likely to bother your husband. Maybe you can't relate to Amy because her case is so extreme, but here is a more common scenario. These are the rules for marriage, time-tested secrets for making your marriage work. And we are reading about having a life of your own, separate from keeping up your own interests and having a life. While Jean didn't make Tom her whole life, she found it hard to put herself first at times and got hurt. When she was single, she loved to take exercise classes early Sunday morning, her only day off from her retail clothing business. Tom thought it would be nice to spend Sunday mornings in bed together, eating breakfast and reading the newspaper. She agreed that it would be romantic too, so she stopped going to her favorite 9 a.m. class. After a few months, Tom started to sleep late on Sundays, sometimes until noon. An early riser, Joan would putter around the house for hours, waiting for Tom to wake up. She finally asked him one Sunday, What happened to breakfast in bed? I've been up for hours. Tom said work was exhausting and he needed to catch up on his sleep. Why don't you go to the gym? He asked. Joan was furious. When she was running off to the gym, he wanted to do things together. Now that she was around, he wanted to sleep late. When a man turns the table, when a man turns the tables on you, when a man turns the tables on you like that, it's easy to feel like a victim and make a big issue out of it. Don't. He's just human. We don't always know what we want either. You're better off resuming your activities and dropping the subject. Just realize that men are used to taking care of themselves. They don't have to read books on codependence. They naturally put themselves first. Women, on the other hand, tend to be caretakers, wanting to please everyone else and putting themselves last and then feeling like victims when they're not appreciated. We now say caregivers. It's important to find a happy medium. This book was written when we said caretakers, caregivers was a new term. You should not be so busy that you have no time for your husband, but there is no reason you can't pursue your career, see your girlfriends once a week, or take exercise classes and still have time for him. Your husband should be the most important person in your life, but he should not be everything or nothing. Strive for balance. Regardless of what he thinks or says, he will be happier when you are fulfilled and busy. But the reason you need to remain interesting is for you, not him. Why stop growing as a person just because you are married? We know women who read the newspaper religiously and followed politics with fascination when they were single, but once they were married, they totally lost touch with current events. You should not become brain dead just because you are married. Mindy's problem was a little different, but you can probably relate. She didn't want to make a decision without her husband's input. When she was single, she was very decisive. She ran an executive recruitment firm, decorated her own apartment by herself, and traveled the world alone. But after being married a few months, she lost her initiative. She didn't want to think for herself. When she felt the kitchen floor needed retiling, she wanted Andy to help her pick the colors. When she had to choose drapes for the living room, she wanted Andy, a CPA, to go with her to look at fabrics during the middle of tax season. I just can't take time off. I just can't take off any time. Figure it out yourself or go with your mother. Whatever you decide is fine with me. Really, Andy told her. Mindy was so afraid of making a mistake that she wanted to put off decorating until after tax season. She would rather sit in a half-furnished house for 6 months than make a decision. It wasn't bad for Mindy to ask her husband's opinion, but once it was clear he wasn't interested, she should have persevered on her own. This kind of fear and codependence is quite common among married women. If you're anything like Mindy, you need to be told that being married doesn't mean being joined at the hip, that all decisions don't have to be made with your husband, especially when he shows no interest, that if you keep doing nothing while waiting for your husband's approval, you will have no backbone or self-esteem, and that it's okay to make mistakes. Women like Mindy sometimes need to, quote, act single, end quote. Just go out and buy the tiles or nothing will get done. Being happily married means finding a balance of togetherness and independence. Women who stop living their lives or depend too much on their husbands for companionship or decision making end up feeling unhappy and unfulfilled, and their husbands know it. Don't let this happen to you. Oops, I think I lost that bookmark. Bill 28. 28. Oh, yeah, yeah. Hold on. That's not it. Hold on. I need to find it. And it is rule number 28. It is, no, let's see, page. Oh, rule number 12 is on page 50. Rarely return his gifts. Rarely return his gifts. Now, this is Christmas, so we would like this piece of advice to be right here. This is a little piece of advice. Rule number 12 for the Rules for Marriage by Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider. Rarely return his gifts. Rule number 12. Don't return your fiance's or husband's gifts unless you absolutely can't look at them and are positive that you will never wear them. If the gift is passable, just not exactly the shape, design, or color you would have picked out for yourself, tell him you love it and keep it for the sake of his feelings. Better to forego your personal taste than hurt him. Let's say he buys you an orange dress and you'd prefer green. Well, take the orange dress. Sad that people that I knew a man who bought his wife a dress. She was very unhappy because he had spent money that they needed, but it was a beautiful dress for her, so she had to wear it, and it was beautiful. So would have been better to say she loved it, right? Women like to think, the authors now say, women like to think that men are made of steel with no feelings or sentimentality, and that a man really doesn't care if you keep his gift or exchange it. This couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, men get hurt and feel emasculated when you reject what they feel are their tokens of love, whether or not they admit it. Ooh, we're reading from the Rules for Marriage. Time-tested secrets for making your marriage work. We are not being old-fashioned or sticklers for etiquette here, say Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider. My show is about bringing on people's actions to commit acts of virtue. And these are acts of virtue because they're wise acts. The acts of wisdom are acts of virtue. The authors say, We are not being old-fashioned or sticklers for etiquette here. We know that times have changed. Years ago, most women wouldn't think of returning or exchanging a gift and gladly wore even repulsive-looking heirlooms. Today, women are more likely to discuss and even pick out their jewelry with their girlfriends or mothers or sisters before their own husbands. It is quite common to go ring shopping as a couple. Surprises are a thing of the past. But if you want to make your husband happy, try to keep what he gives you. Our friend take a look. Take a look. Oh, there I am back. Hey there. Good morning. Colleen Dracos, Gina Puttoff, John Clark, Tom Krebs, Mandy Alexi, and Liz Roscantara, and AC Rusita. Our friend Marcia found this out the hard way. Okay, here we go. It is quite common to go ring shopping as a couple. Surprises are a thing of the past. But if you want to make your husband happy, try to keep what he gives you. Our friend Marcia found this out the hard way. Marcia had her heart set on a pear-shaped diamond engagement ring, so when her fiancé proposed with a round one, she said yes to the proposal and no to the ring. At first, Dave was shell-shocked and thought she was being heartless, but he eventually agreed that it was her ring and she should get what she wanted. Marcia got the pear, but her husband never forgot that she turned in the ring he spent weeks shopping for. Every time he thought of buying her jewelry for her birthday, Valentine's Day, or their anniversary, he wondered if she was going to return it. She did. For their first anniversary, he bought her a locket, but she didn't like the chain and exchanged it. He started to joke that she should just buy herself gifts and give him the bills. But beneath the humor was hurt, and he no longer enjoyed buying her gifts. He feels a little bitterness on these occasions. Years later, Marcia regrets changing the ring. Every time she looks at the pair, she knows it wasn't the ring Dave picked out, and she feels bad about it. But the damage is done. She got what she wanted, but at a price. That's why we say try to put your husband's feelings before your personal taste. Jane's motives were better, but the damage was the same. While Marcia was simply picky, Jane wanted to save money. When her husband bought her a $2,000 diamond necklace for their second anniversary, she said, "Bill, this is beautiful, but don't you think we should use the money for a new washing machine and dryer? Ours are on their last leg." Jane thought Bill would be thrilled. After all, how many wives would forego diamonds for appliances? On the contrary, Bill was upset and insisted she keep the necklace, which she did begrudgingly. Their anniversary was somewhat tainted by Jack's lack of graciousness. She thought she was being helpful and that his priorities were misplaced. But that's because she didn't understand her husband's mentality. Without meaning to hurt Bill's ego, she managed to criticize his role as breadwinner, implying that he couldn't take care of the house and shower her with diamonds at the same time. Like Jane, some married women deny themselves in the name of fiscal prudence. They're always trying to cut costs. So when their husbands say, "What would you like for your birthday?" they say, "Nothing," or "Don't bother." Men don't appreciate that. They want to give you something. It feeds their ego. When you wear their jewelry, you're saying, "I'm yours." So if you are anything like Marcia or Jane, when your husband gives you a gift, keep it. When he asks you what you want, smile and say, "Whatever you get will be great." Or give him a tiny hint. Remember, you are trying to make your husband happy, not pass a lie detector test. Oh my gosh, I like that. It's so funny. Okay. Now the next one is rule number. I want to get to that really quickly. Those were here. Oh, yeah, yeah. Where is it? Da, 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 da. It's the one. Have a date night. This rule number 28. Number 28. One. 14. We are reading from The Rules for Marriage. Have a date night. Rule number 28. Whether or not you have children, but this is even more crucial if you do, you must keep the romance going by reserving one night alone with your husband, preferably Saturday night. It doesn't matter if you rent a video and order in or go to a restaurant and movie. The point is to do whatever it takes so that it's just the two of you. Get a babysitter or send the kids over to grandma's house. You need one night a week without diapers, whining, phone calls, beep, pagers, I mean, cell phones, the dishwasher going, crises from family, friends, business associates, clients. You're unavailable. What a concept. Don't think, but my children need me. Think, my children need me to maintain a relationship with their father. Don't add up the cost of going out to dinner, the babysitter, the restaurant, the overpriced drinks, and the dessert, the parking, the movie tickets. Don't think it's cheaper to eat at home. It is cheaper to eat at home, but you simply must have a break from the routine. It's money well spent if it makes you and your husband feel alive, like you're dating. Here are 10 steps for a romantic evening at home. Number 1, order in a gourmet dinner, but don't use cartons or paper plates. Use the real stuff. Number 2, eat in your lingerie. Number 3, take out the rarely used candlesticks you got as a wedding gift and dim the lights. Number 4, put on a romantic CD. Number 5, turn off the phones. Number 6, rent a sexy video. Number 7, give him a back rub. Number 8, be playful. Tell him you're his slave or sex toy for the night. Number 9, don't talk about anything negative or serious. Number 10, pretend you're auditioning for a toothpaste commercial. Smile. Interesting, interesting. So I love these books. Fein and Sherrie Schneider. Sherrie spelled Sherrie. Schneider is spelled the way it is. Fein is Fein. And you did the rules and they worked. You captured the heart of Mr. Right and are at the very least engaged. Or you've been married for years. Perhaps you and your partner got together without the help of those time-tested guidelines. Now you're looking for ways to keep your relationship happy and healthy. Even the best of marriages require that you work out differences with your partner and handle frustrations and disappointments. Maybe you're wondering if the rules you did while you were dating still work now that you're about to tie the knot. The rules for marriage is here because women like you want realistic solutions. Authors Ellen Fein and Sherrie Schneider again come to the rescue with a set of rules. Some will sound familiar, others are completely new, but they all lead to the same wonderful future, the one where you and your husband stay together forever. Da, 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 da. So, I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas. Morsels of a Thought number 1819. Let me not knock over everything. Let me show you my Christmas sorry. It's not low enough. Okay, the camera isn't low enough, but that was my tree. I'm trying to bring more virtue into the world while we do the right thing. Knowing the right thing to do is wisdom. Doing it is virtue. Morsels of a thought, little bits at a time. Knowing the right things to do so we can have more virtue. Yay! I hope I inspire you to do something great today and have a Merry Christmas. Okay, old Kinderhook.